Welcome to another episode of Chasing the Wind. I'm Pastor Mark, and it is a new year. And you know what? I just sang a song called Whiter Than Snow, but I'm going to tell you the wind is blowing pretty good here today in Western New York. So not only are we does God make us whiter than snow, but the Holy Spirit. Just a little refresher on why I call this show Chasing the Wind, because go to Ecclesiastes when Solomon says it's like chasing after the wind. It's meaningless, it's useless, but that's not how I mean it. I'm doing a little play on that phrase. The wind in what we're talking about today is the pneuma, the ruach, the Holy Spirit, the wind, the breath, the Spirit. So that's what we are doing here at Chasing the Wind. When you tune in so faithfully, thank you for 5 years. Andrew, it's coming. This is my 5th year. I'm starting my 5th year of Chasing the Wind. Boy, am I tired.
You should get it
anyway, the Holy Spirit just keeps breathing new life into me. So just let's talk here. I'm going to see where this goes, because it could go in several directions. But dreams. Let's talk about dreams. And I think what I want to talk about first, the first kind of dream is dreams, like when you're sleeping and you have a dream. And this is very telling. I wish I was having visions, to be honest with you. And I do have visions sometimes. But Joel chapter 2, the day of the Lord. I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams, and your young men will see visions. Even on my servants, both men and women, I will pour out my spirit in those days. Okay? There's so many thoughts going through my mind today, folks, but we're going to just see where this one goes. But this morning was one of those mornings I woke, before I woke up, I woke up out of very deep sleep and remembered my dream. I don't always remember my dreams, but this was one that was so vivid, and it had several things going on, and I would have been wise to get up and write them all down, but it'll probably come to me later. But there was a couple things, and I'm not going to get into all the details of it, but I had this dream, and I woke up, and I'm kind of laying there in bed, kind of in this liminal space. It's not that, and it's not that. It's kind of like, wait, kind of foggy, trying to figure out what's going on. Do I get out of bed? Do I wait? Am I going to fall back to sleep? Was it a dream? What was going on? So I laid there. I chose to lay there for a little bit, and I said silently to the Lord, I said, what was that dream about that I remembered it this time? Because I do believe that God speaks to us through dreams sometimes. Sometimes it's pizza at 10, but sometimes I didn't have pizza at 10. Sometimes God does speak to us through it. And so, and I know they said, well, your dreams are the sum of what you watched, before you went to bed or whatever you looked on Instagram or Facebook. I get that. If that was the case, then I would have woke up hearing, my name is Jeff. Anyway, that's kind of a funny story. If you watch those videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, this morning, I might do a Chasing the Wind on that one of these days too. This morning, I woke up and it was, I'm like, Lord, what was this about? And sometimes he tells me right away, and sometimes he doesn't. But today was one of those days that he was saying, Mark, it's time to get rid of some stuff from the past. It's New Year's, right? It might be clothes. I've been kind of going through some of my old clothes, and there's been other stuff, that I'm like, okay, we took down our Christmas decorations, and we're like, okay, is there some stuff that we don't need anymore, that we don't use anymore, we don't like anymore? Can we give it to Salvation Army, whatever it is, give it to charity? So there's been little bits of that going on, just some things saying, man, do I really need that? But here's where I really felt God was saying. One of the elements of the dream was I felt God saying, what I'm already doing was what I just described to you. But then there was a couple of the aspects of the dream talked to me about some internal situations going on that I feel like God's saying, either you need to let go of it, or you need to go talk to the people that are involved in it and work it out. And as I've been pondering it, I'm feeling at this point like God saying, "Really, Mark, you're letting this take your energy and take your joy, take your joy." And I'm like, "Yes, you're right, Lord. This is so much minutia. We let that happen, though, don't we? It's sometimes it's the little foxes that spoils the vine, as Solomon said in the Song of Songs. Well, let us catch the little foxes that spoils the vine. As one pastor said one time, I don't remember who it was. It doesn't matter. I can say I did it because I've used it 3 times. But I'd rather be swallowed by a whale than nibbled to death by minnows. It's sometimes those little things that irritate us more than the bigger things that happen. And the Lord is saying, really? How long are you going to let this, fester? You're either going to go deal with it, or you're just going to let it go, because this is so small, Mark. Let it go and move on, because it's just taking up too much of your joy, and therefore you're not able, it hinders you. So I say that, and today I want you to just walk away with something, folks. Do a little house cleaning. Maybe you need to do it literally in your house. I don't know. That's not always a bad thing. Maybe it is something, though, that we need to take assessment and say, "God, search me, oh God, and see if there's any unclean way in me." You say, "Well, Pastor Mark, you're upset about something. That's not sin in your life." Well, it's still troubling me and hindering me. And I want to go into this year. It's kind of funny. I got sick. Was sick for about 48 hours, and I asked the Lord to help me lose some weight, and He did, by the way. And we're not going to get into that, but I should have been more specific and said, "Can you help me do it another way than how it happened?" But I'll let you do the math, by the way. Anyway, it didn't hurt for me to shed a few pounds, to let go of some of that weight. If you think about it, it's like carrying a backpack with rocks in it. And we just carry the backpack, and we trudge along. And we say, "Wait a minute, why don't we take the backpack off, look inside there and say, is there stuff in here that I don't need to carry anymore? That it's just not worth it?" Or that I say, this one I do need to work on. I need to go take care of it. What do I need to do here, Lord? And Lord may say, you need to go talk to that person, whatever the case is. And maybe that's what He'll do with me before it's all said and done. I don't know. At this point, I feel like He's just saying, just let it go. You're letting this thing rob you. And I got a lot of joy, and I'll share it with anybody, but I don't want anybody to rob it. I'm not going to let anybody steal it from me. So, I want you to be aware too, maybe the Lord's talking to you through your dreams, and you've been having some consistent dreams, and maybe you're writing them off, and maybe God's saying some things to you through other people. Sometimes God speaks to me through other people, and if you're hearing the same consistent message coming at you, maybe you need to say, "God, what are you trying to tell me here?" But I want to go in. I want to pack light. And I want to travel light. Max Lucado wrote a book years ago called Traveling Light. And I always thought there's a couple ways you can look at that. Traveling light as in, this is light that helps us find our way to travel, but it's also going on the journey with a lighter load. And I know as I'm getting a little bit older, I don't like carrying heavy loads like I used to. I don't try taking 5 bags of groceries in each hand anymore. I I can make a couple trips. That's not an issue. Or I wait until someone says, "Oh, sir, can I open the door for you?" Yes, you can, by the way, and take a couple of these bags while you're at it. Anyway, wind chasers, that's just something for you to chew on a little bit. See what the Lord's doing in your life. Make yourself open to what He may say to you. And open your hearts and minds to Him. And so, see where it goes from there. Anyway, I'm going to let you go there, wind chasers. Keep chasing the wind, because the wind is chasing you. Until next time, I'm Pastor Mark. Grace and peace.